He is someone who knows all about organising multidiscipline events. NDTV's Suprita Das speaks to the legend called Lord Sebastian Coe.
I'm very privileged to have the legendary Lord Sebastian Coe with me. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
My pleasure.
You've been around Delhi. Just tell a little bit about this trip of yours.
Well, the first few days was to look at some of the projects that we are helping as the organising committee for the London Olympic Games and Paralympic Games, where we have committed to helping try and create opportunities for 12 million young people in sport and physical education in 20 countries between now and 2012 when the Games come to London. And our first project was in India.
And I believe there is a special connection to this place, very place where you're standing and talking to me.
There is, yes. My grandfather was Indian, and many years ago he owned this hotel. So I was quite keen to see what it now looked like.
We have a Commonwealth Games to host next year. You are involved with the London 2012 Games, so obviously you know what organising is all about. Have you been able to, have a look at the venues or the infrastructure here?
I had some meetings with some politicians and the Minister Gill and the Education Minister as well. And I had the opportunity not to go into the venues, but to as I'm driving around Delhi, and also to look at the extraordinary infrastructure in the building and the roads and the flyovers and the bridges. So it's a city under construction.
Do you want to give any advice for the organisers of the 2010 Games?
No, I think it would be inappropriate. The only thing I would say is that I know how hard it is. This is not an easy job. And nobody should think putting a major games on, whether it's an Olympic Games or a Commonwealth Games, is an easy process. And there are two challenges. There's the challenge of the infrastructure and the operation. There's also the challenge of being able to leave a legacy behind. My advice to, having been involved in this for a number of years, is to anybody that's setting out on that process, although this is nearing its end, is that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It
is the Commonwealth Games next year. Do you see India in the future hosting an Olympics?
It is really important for the Olympic movement, as it demonstrated in Copenhagen just a few weeks ago, for the Games to be seen as a global event. They can't just keep going back to the same places. And so, a country like India that is clearly a large country, clearly globally an important country, clearly a country that understands sport, would be an obvious venue for the Games at some stage. But that really, I think, is a matter for the National Olympic Committee of India and, of course, the government to decide. But it would be lovely to see the Games here one day.
Tuba.com